Elevated Overland. We're here today to show you this 1986 Toyota Sunrader 4-wheel drive. The cool thing about this particular Sunrader is it's one of approximately 28 to 30 that are factory 4-wheel drive. So this came out of the Toyota Sunrader factory having 4-wheel drive. We're going to be dealing with some road noise in this video because my shop is next to a road. It is what it is. We'll make do with it. So some of the key features on this Sunrader are these awesome Ford, I think they're like 2014 and up, dually wheels, 8x200 lug pattern. We got custom adapters front and rear to make those work. The owner of this vehicle, not the previous owner, the owner of this vehicle got the adapters made and put these wheels and tires on. I think it looks bitchin'. Some other things that this thing has is a full Blazeland long travel kit. Blazeland sold his company or the patent to this, and they're really hard to find anymore. So the fact that he found one is awesome. Right here we have an Arb bumper. We pulled this, originally it was pulled off of a Jeep XJ, I believe. Then it was retrofitted to a 3rd generation 4Runner, and its final home is a 2nd generation Toyota pickup. It's got light pods, all sorts of fun stuff. A winch will go in there eventually. We're not going to put that in there. Other things that we've done, we'll talk about what's under the hood in a minute, but this has a 2.5 exhaust from the muffler back, and actually a full 2.5 inch exhaust, so that's really neat. We can come on over here in the back. We have, again, the 4 dually wheels, Ironman AT tires, some Dodge fender flares. The front are Toyota, the rear are Dodge. Some things that we did while this was in the shop: we rebuilt the rear axle, brakes. We did the e-brake. We actually retrofitted a e-locker differential in here. So they come open differentials. I'm not going to explain the difference between an open and a locker, but essentially both of these rear tires have power now. So with an electronic locker, we made that happen. Usually just one side has power, so right now both sides have power. Also the rear does have the matching long travel leafs back here, which is super neat. Rebuilt all the bushings. Everything that you can rebuild back here was rebuilt by us. We'll just do a full walk around of the rig since we're here. It's pretty freaking sweet if you ask me. It's a factory 4-wheel drive. You can see the decals. That's straight out of the factory, so that's really cool. It's got the super rare Sunrader booty box, they call it. Not a lot of Sunraders have these, so to see it still in such good shape, the lid's on, it's awesome. So coming around here, same thing, just stock exterior on a Toyota Sunrader. His idea with this build was to keep it as close to original in 1986 as you can. So I'm not sure that they had long travel kits, but it was not too long after that they were making long travel kits. This has a turbo kit on it, which we will get into in just a second, but those were available. You could hodgepodge together a turbo kit. You could have a long travel kit, and it has a factory VIN matching 22RE that came in this camper. So that's really cool. We're trying to stick to the fundamentals of vintage Toyota campers. Coming on over, we'll take a little peek inside. So this came from the factory as a 22RE with an automatic transmission. That was not sufficient for pushing these big tires all this weight around. So we went ahead and installed a full LCE low boost turbo kit. We'll get under the hood in a minute. And we put a R151 turbo transmission in. So those are actually really hard to come by. I'm not sure if you're familiar. Not easy to come by. We had one, we sold it to him, and we installed it. Looks awesome. It is a little dirty in here, excuse the mess. We're not quite done, but as you can see, the inside of this camper is extremely clean. We have rocker switches here for this is the rear locker, this is the front lights. We've got 2 empty switches here. We're gonna fill with auxiliary, so when he's ready, or when whoever's ready to add more stuff to this camper, they have the option. Coming around under the hood, so behind this Arb bumper that we retrofitted, We've got for Freedom, Real Trucks Rattle, all sorts of awesome stickers that the previous owners put on here. But what you see here is a full LC Engineering turbo kit. We got a Garrett turbo. We have custom intercooler piping, intercooler boots. We went the extra mile. This was all kind of like candy coat painted. We chipped one piece, so we couldn't let that slide. We asked him, what color do you want? And we powder coated every single thing in here. So if you can't tell, it's dirty right now. The power steering fluid reservoir is powder coated. The lid is powder coated. I mean, the attention to detail that we tried to pay to this thing was high. We had all the brackets, the ones you can't even see, powder coated. So the power steering brackets powder coated. The throttle linkage brackets are powder coated. We actually re-powder coated all of this. We had to modify one of these intake boost tubes because it was not sitting right. We had this powder coated. We had the upper intake powder coated. It's all been powder coated. Essentially, yes, I know this needs to be replaced with the catch can because it's a turbo engine now, but we're pushing like 5 to 6 pounds of boost at tops, so it's not going to be a huge deal. We got our custom fuse box over here, a bunch of relays that we had to add. This is not the battery that goes with it, it's just in here to move it around. The other battery's on the trickle charger, staying nice and charged. And so the standalone management system that this is on is an SDS EM4 or EM5 standalone unit. So we got our 2 coil packs over here, and now it's coil on plug, or not coil on plug, but we have coil packs to the plugs instead of a distributor, so that's awesome. And I guess one of the last things that we're going to talk about is the downpipe. That's all 2.5 wrapped in fiberglass. Don't forget about our 3-core radiator, all aluminum, so a really sweet unit. Keep this thing cool going over the mountain passes. So under the hood, that's essentially what we did. And remember, we did the 5-speed swap, so we installed the clutch master and the clutch slave and all that sort of stuff. All the wiring and all the lines for that we installed. It needs to hit the dyno so we can get it tuned and it can be safe and efficient and reliable. Don't want to blow this nice 60,000 original mile motor up. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the gist of this thing. And I guess some of the last thing we can show you is over here. In here we've got all our gauges here, RPM, you got your AFRs, and you got your turbo here. We also have coolant temp, oil pressure, oil temp. We went ahead, mounted the ECU in there. The factory ECU is no longer in here. It was in here, it just wasn't plugged in, so we got all the wires that weren't necessary and got them out of here. But now you can get a better look at this light pod, rear locker out, rear locker in. This means the ECU has power. It's got just an Alpine stereo, and like I said, we got a new shift boot. It really needs cleaned. It's messy in here, I'm sorry about that, guys. But other than that, yeah, we got our turbo gauge, our AFR gauge, RPMs, a reminder to torque and check all fluid before it goes anywhere, so you can never have too many reminders about that. And this beautiful original interior. So I think, you know, guys, I think that does it for this 4-wheel drive Sunrader walk around and tour and explanation of what we did to this thing. And I can't wait for him to get it back and enjoy it like he should be able to. So until next time, guys, I appreciate you tuning in. If you like this sort of stuff, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. It inspires me to do more. This camper's awesome, and I cannot wait to do some more camper content and build some more campers. Inevitably, they're going to follow me around for the rest of my life, so stick around if you want to see more of it. Alright, guys, see you later.